Hello, good evening, Urja. So congratulations on your success for SSB, that is SSC IT, right?
Yes, sir.
That's for the naval entry. And it's a different kind of an entry, I mean, which is a new type of entry where, you get commission very early and thereafter, you move on to your professional training. So that is excellent. Good news. हाँ, that सोने में सुहागा जिसे बोलते हैं. हाँ, so recommend भी
yes,
हो
sir.
गए और commission भी जल्दी मिल जाएगा.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's
Within
good.
4 weeks, just 4 weeks.
Within 4 weeks. So that's very nice. So Urja, if I may ask you, what is it that motivated you to join the services?
So first of all, sir, I am from a civil background, so nobody in my family is from defense. So, sir, basically, from since childhood, I was more interested in sports and adventures, everything. So I always wanted something to do where I have the technical expertise as well in something, and I also get chance to stay connected with the sports part as well. So only defense forces is the place where both of these is equally important. So that gave me the motivation. Also, when I came to college, many of my friends were preparing for SSBs, and I connected with them. And many of them also told me like, you should go for that because you have that personality and all. So I thought of that, but I didn't have the courage to tell my parents and everyone that I wanted to do this. So that was the major thing that I was like letting me behind. So just that thing motivated me, like I wanted to do this, and once I decided, I just go for it.
So what was the time when you could tell your parents or convince your parents that you want to go for this? Sometime in BTech, during BTech?
Yes, sir. During the BTech, in the final year, I started mentioning about these things that I wanted to go there. And there was one in Discovery, there was one show, Women in Honor got released. And in that, one of my senior was there. So I like made my parents watch that. And from that, they like thought like, yes, they can, like, I can also go there. So with that, slowly, I started showing them these things. And with that, I approached them.
So that's very nice. Nice way of, convincing your parents. Huh?
Yes, sir. It's very important.
So that means one of the OLQs is already there, ability to influence. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's good. Now, you've done your BTech in IT. So what are the other, besides this particular SSB, what are the other attempts did you make?
Sir, my first attempt was in March. That was for Army in SSC Technical. So I got screened out there. Although I have prepared I have prepared with you only. So I was very prepared for that, like current affairs and everything. I have done very much like thoroughly. But when I went there, I like got nervous or what? I didn't perform to that extent that was required there, because in direct entries, we all know like so many candidates are there and only few get screened in. So we have to be the best, best at that day. So I didn't perform that day. I can say that there were some minor things that was missing. So that was my first attempt, and this was my second attempt, which I gave recently on 2nd of May. So that's a small journey, but it's like quite challenging, I can say.
Yes, must have been. If you tell us, how did you start preparing? How did you get into the preparation mode as far as the SSB is concerned? You didn't have to write an exam for these entries, right? So this is a direct SSB based on your BTech marks. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So my preparation started around September last year. So I was like scrolling through YouTube and everything, like what SSB is and about the procedure. But I think like there is some proper guidance is required. One mentor is required who can guide you what all things you need to focus on. So I came across Unacademy, and I usually much more active in Instagram and all. So I came across Major General Yashmore there. So I connected with him on Instagram, and there I got to know that he take Unacademy classes. So I joined his classes, and I used to watch his current affairs videos. And there I come to know about Iconic course that was going on, and I enrolled into that, and I got you as my mentor there. And from that, like there is a steep learning curve that I had. because I had a low confidence before that. And after joining the Unacademy, I used to watch your classes, and I used to introspect myself a lot. So with that, I improved myself, and it's like a great learning experience for me from that.
Okay. So, I mean, if for the viewers, if you can tell us that, when you enroll for Iconic, so you also get a subscription on the Plus, right?
Yes.
So what is it that, how can people leverage this Plus course along with the Iconic?
Yes, sir. So the Plus course has the advantage, like we can speak to the mentor in between the classes. Like we used to practice screening stories and psych tests as well sometimes. So there, if we have any doubt, we can ask you directly there only. But if you don't have that, there is no privilege for that. So that is good in Plus thing. And apart from that, the Iconic course is best because we get a one-to-one guidance there. So I connected with you. I had a interview with you, mock interview, and I am very much happy with that, because that interview that you took, that exactly same question was asked by the IO, and I was much more confident because I have already answered them very nicely with you. So I was much more confident when I was giving answers to those questions in the interview. So that really helped me. And also the site test that I gave, so that you also reviewed those site tests. So you gave a review like these things I need to work on. I need to put on certain things like this way. You told me like I should express much, because whatever I have done in my life, that is not reflecting in my site. So that thing was missing there. So that I kept in my mind. And this time when I was writing my psych test, I kept those things in my mind, and I wrote all these things that happened with me actually. So that really helped. And yes, sir, that's great.
Okay, so what is it, see, they say that, you, as far as defense services are concerned, it is expected that, you be a little balanced, right? So you have studies, you're good in academics, and then alongside that, how much is the importance you think, or what benefit has accrued to you as a sports person? You also very keen sportsman, sportswoman, right? So
Yes.
what all benefits have accrued to you? I know confidence wise or otherwise. Can you just elaborate on that?
Yes, sir. Sir, so academically, I'm good, but sports person, being a sports person, it taught me a lot, because certain things we can't learn only academically. So like things like going out with friends and playing as a team, these kind of teamworks really helped me in my GTO task, because I was like on top there on my performance. These like how we used to play and how we used to strategize before each game in my like previous sports. So these things help me here as well. And also I have played nationals and everything. So these kind of things, if I have played, give me confidence that yes, I have done something in my life and I am rightly here and I am supposed to be here at this particular time. So these things really build my personality particularly, and the teamwork, the letting go, like making friends, that was like very easy for me. I went there and in 5 days I have made some good friends that I'm going to stay connected with them like after my SSB and all everything. So these kind of things really improve if we have in our life. So that's also.
Yeah. So, the thing that I always tell my students is, you should be able to leverage, or you should be able to capitalize on your strengths. And your strength did lie on this, sports arena quite a bit, right? So like I think badminton, you reached the national level, right?
Yes, and Coco as well.
As Coco as well. Yeah. So both the games. So now that's what I keep saying, that everybody has some kind of strength. He might be good in academics, he might be good in some particular sports or extracurricular activity. So I think that needs to be leveraged. That needs to, and that's where the confidence comes in. And
yes, sir, definitely.
By invoking those things, I'm sure you would also recall how you build your confidence in yourself, greater belief in yourself.
Yes,
so
sir.
that is excellent. So if you can just tell us your experience of the SSB. right? Various tests. Anything which you found challenging or anything which you found very interesting?
Okay, sir. So like screening was the first task, and since I was screened out in March recently, so I was like underconfident in that part, but I was prepared. So I think like I thought that I will just go and give my best, and rest it depends on the assessors that what they want to do. If they saw something in me, then they will take me in. So I just did best there. I write a story which was very much realistic. There was a woman sitting there in the picture, and she was thinking about something. So I connected it with my sports as usual. And I made a simplistic story that she was going for a tournament and she is preparing for that, and how she prepared. I just wrote that. And in the discussion, I was like very good this time, because I got a good group, I can say, in this time, because in screen out batch, everyone was trying to speak. So we had a proper good discussion. We came to a conclusion as well. So out of this, like 3 or 4 people got screened in from that group. And so it was a good experience in the screen in. Once I got screened in, I just thought that I don't have to take much pressure. I will just enjoy these 5 days, because enjoying will only help me reduce my pressure, and I will do my best at that. Okay, in that case. So I just went there, and in the second day we had the psych test. So for psych test, I prepared little bit. Like I was mostly working on laptop and all, so my writing was like going down. So I was not that much speedy in writing the responses. So I practiced first SRT within the time limits and all. So I used to only write 38 to 40 SRTs at maximum. But I thought like I could have done better. So I just wrote there. And in the psych test, in the actual test, I wrote around 52. And I thought like I have done more. So I should like, I was like holding myself back, but I thought like I should just go on. So I wrote 52 SRTs. My VAT was like, I was not confident with the VAT part, but it also did went well, and I did well there as well. And in the TED stories, I completed all TED stories within time. Even I had some 30-40 seconds spare, so that I can read if the story is correct or not. So like that I improved. And in the GTO, the GTO was my favorite, sir. So in all these 2 days, I enjoyed very much. I thought like all these tasks were meant for me only, because
Okay,
whenever I was going there, it was like a piece of cake for me, because I thought like it's easy. I can do this. I can do this. We can do this like this. These things happening with me. Also, like before going to the SSB, I had a talk with my friends, and I was asking just what things you think like about me that is lacking, because in a team we need to like work as a team. So they told me like sometimes I get like dominating, but so I kept that thing in my mind, and I did well as well, and I also gave opportunity to others as well. Like in some places I was not getting ideas, so I was approaching my friends to come forward and apply something. So these kind of things were happening. So like I didn't look at GTO at all. I was just enjoying. I was tying knots. I was like using the planks and bullies. So these kind of things happening there. And in the command task, where like GTO called me first, but in my group I was last. My GTO called me first, so I got little nervous there. So initially I got like I was not doing well. Like I was all confused what to do, how to do this, and the structure was also like quite difficult for me. So I calmed myself down. My friends were there. I called 2 people who were my friends only, and they were quite good. So they were like from behind supporting me, like, yes, you can do it, just go on. So I calmed myself down and I did the all tasks within time limit. So that was great. And in the snake race as well, we did well. Like we won the snake race. That was the best part, because we all were like enjoying, we all were running here and there, and we
lot
were
of
like,
Josh.
so that was the best thing that happened there. So also there was one place where we have to climb the wall. Uh, there it was like quite challenging for some of us, because the arm strength is usually less. So what I did was I was like all jumpy and all. So I went there, I jumped on the wall, and I called one of my friend to jump up, and we were all like pulling other girls. So this kind of things I did there. So that was like the best thing that I did there. And everything like in the individual obstacle, I thought like I could have done better, as like I am a sports person. So I thought I would have done better there, but I could have only done like 6 to 7 obstacle there. So I was trying more on trying some new tasks, new obstacles. So I went up for the Tarzan swing. And when I went up there, I thought like it's easy, I will do it. But when I went up there, it was like too high. So I thought like there's no time to think, your time is running out, just jump. So I jumped, I fall 2 times, and then I realized like it's too it's too high, I won't be able to do it. So I just stopped there and I moved to a new task. So that happened there. So there I little bit like got worried, like this is my place where I should have performed, but I didn't. So I was like little bit nervous, but I went ahead and I did other tasks. So that was a great experience in individual obstacle as well. So this is how the GTO ended, and I was happy. So in the conference day, we were like thinking that it might last longer, but it was around 2-3 minutes for each one of us. Like only for one girl there was 5-10 minutes, but for each one of us it was like 2-3 minutes only. So I realized like either I'm in or either I'm out. There is no in between case. So I just went there. Yes. So I just went in there. He asked me 2 questions regarding the same question that he was asking everyone else. Like what are the changes or what are the reviews that you want to give to like SSB, your experience, something like that. So these kind of questions he asked. So that's all that happened.
Chalo. And what about the interview?
Sir, interview to went like quite smooth and easy, because I was already prepared with all the answers. I ran through my PIQ one day before, and I marked 2-3 points where he might grill me. So I marked those 2-3 points. I prepared answers for that, and those exact question he asked me there. And the same question that you asked me related to my sports and the timings, that if I run daily in the morning, then what are the timings and all. These things I have already prepared. So it also went great. So my interview was like very smooth. He was happy and he was like satisfied. In few questions, he was not satisfied. He was like grilling me again and again, like, why not this? Why this? Because like I have a 2 years gap in between, like after my graduation. So he was like grilling me there again and again. I clearly straightforward told him like I was afraid to accept that I wanted to join defense forces, and I was not telling my parents these things. So he was like, why don't you, so for taking this decision you took 2 years, then how will you take decision ahead? So these kind of things he was asking, and I was just like smiling every time, because I remembered that it's important to keep yourself calm at that place. So I just did that and interview went well. And also one more thing, sir, in the lecturate part, I got certain topics which I was not prepared for. Like the topics were like coastal security and bullet train and Indo-Israel relation. And there was one more, my best friend. So I don't wanted to like give my lecturate on some easy topic that I had in my mind. So I went with Indo-Israel relation, and the preparation that I have done like since September, I was reading newspaper and other things. So that helped me, and I just spoke there. So that was the best thing that I liked about GTO as well. Like in the lecturate part, I did well. And even my group members were telling like it took courage to choose some topic like this. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, so Urja, let's also finish with the medicals. Yeah, because this is something which people are a little anxious about. And so, how was the medical?
Sir, medical usually lasts around 4 or 5 days, but at maximum sometimes it lasts longer than 10 days as well. But for me, it was like 1 week only. So each test was conducted at the MH Bhopal only. So from top to bottom, they checked everything from ENT to gynec to like everything. And even the bones and everything they checked. And I got like 1 TR for low hemoglobin. That I knew like I might get that because I don't have a proper diet usually because of my work, or I usually skip meals sometimes. So I knew I would be getting this, but that's correctable. So I can like have a proper diet within a month and I can like fix it. So that's it. But it's not like something that needs to worry about. But we were very nervous at that time because we were thinking like clearing SSB is more easy than clearing the medicals.
Yeah, for
Because
some
some
people
of,
it is. For some people it can
yes,
be, who have some problems.
yes, yes,
So that is fine. So long as you don't have any major issues, it is
yes,
absolutely fine. Now, you had mentioned about the group in the screening. So you said your repeater batch, you had a good group. So will you
yes.
elaborate on that? Did you have some kind of an understanding within the group? Okay, now how should we go about?
So the group, I think, was all, the girls were very sensible. They were all listening to each other. They were giving everyone chance to speak. Like we never interacted with each other. Just before 5-10 minutes before the group discussion, we had a just small talk like, how are you and where did you come from? These type of talks we had. But when we went in there, nobody was cutting anyone. We all were speaking like unanimously, one by one, like that. So it was good. And even after getting screened in, the group I got, that too was very good. Like the room that I get with the other 6 ladies, they were in other group. I was the only one, and me and one more girl was the only one who got a group where we were paired up with other room
Other
members.
group, okay.
Yeah, but like since I had a conversation with each one of the like screen-in girls, so I didn't have any problem. Even I made friends with other rooms girls as well. So I didn't have any problem. And everyone was like very good. They all know what to do. They were very focused. So like I think like more of us should get recommended in this group because very, very good ladies I found there. So many motivated persons, and the way they were handling themselves, the composure they had. I think like more of us should have get recommended, but I think
So
there
only
must be some
how
problem.
many got recommended?
So 6 of us got recommended out of 34.
Out of 34, and how many of them were repeaters?
So 2 of them were repeaters, but those 2 repeaters were already recommended in Feb as well. So
and rest all freshers?
Yes, sir. We were screened out.
Screened
and one
out,
was fresher and
stage 2 freshers.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So people have a the perception is that you got to take an offline guidance, particularly for the outdoors, for the GT. So
Yes,
what do you
sir.
have to say on that?
Sir,
Unacademy iconic versus offline.
Sir, I think like it's important to know about what is going to happen there. It will help obviously because I knew like in the G2 what all tasks are going to happen and what are things we need to do. But taking guidance like how to put bully there and how to put rope and tie rope, these kind of things I don't think is required because there we have to use our brains because these structure will always change. Like they won't be getting repeated ever. So you have to just go there and use your brains and apply something. So it's important to know the process and each task that is going to happen, but no guidance is required, I think.
Okay, so because that is something which many of the learners or aspirants, they think unless until हमने जाके physically नहीं GT किया है, outdoor task नहीं किए, so it may be a handicap. But that is good. Like that's what I was saying. Particularly if you have played sports, if you've been a team person, and all these things they come naturally to you, and that's what we are testing there. Okay.
Yes, like these are the things that we usually do in our daily life. Like there was one girl who got recommended with me. She was in my group only. She was asked one question regarding how much is this meter and how can you like measure this. So she was like very blunt with that. She told like my mother used to buy some clothes there and she used to like when she used to go with her, she like the shopkeeper used to measure with that rope and that's how she used to know like this is 1 meter or 2 meters. So these kind of real life experiences helps a lot in these things. So that's important.
Yeah, that's what we call awareness, right? So long as you are aware about daily things and you can apply them, apply them practically rather than being very, very theoretical about things. Okay, so that is excellent. So what are the plans? When does the course commence?
Sir, it's in July only. So maybe within June, we will get some merit list or something. So
absolutely. Okay. So so Urja, would you like to say anything, from your side, any kind of advice or suggestions for the aspirants?
So just wanted to say one thing, like just show what you are really. And if you have it in you, you will get through it. And yes, some amount of preparation is required. Even for psych test, some amount of preparation is required. Not for the analysis of your responses, but for your speed, certain kind of things is required. So it's better if you go prepared instead of just going directly, just to show like I am myself and I'll show it like that. That's not the thing. You have to be prepared. And current affairs, it's very important. You have to read a newspaper or something. You have to be aware of what's happening around the world. Like before September, if you would have asked me like what's the neighboring countries, I would have not been able to like say anything about that. But in the small time, I have improved in those current affair things. So it's important to know about these things and be aware, and assertiveness is very much important. And yes, it's also important to like have a teamwork spirit in yourself, like because we are not competing with each other till our SSB is over. We have to go all together. We have to perform our best, and if we are up to that level that they should get, like they should recommend us, then we will surely get recommended. So that's the main approach that everyone should follow.
So you remember that assertiveness?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that was something.
Yes, definitely.
Which,
so that thing I learned from your DDY course, and that was really helpful because that built my confidence. And because I was I was at a point where I didn't have confidence and I was not able to present myself that much confidently. Now you can see the difference in me, like how well I am presenting myself. So these kind of things have improved with your classes and the DDY course, definitely.
Hello, that is very nice. Good to see people getting recommended, and wishing you all the best, Urja. And thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind, sir.